Hello there, welcome to After Aliyah's second video on YouTube/Facebook. My name is Daniel Rosell. The camera's going to stop bobbing up and down in a second, hopefully. I set up this website a couple of weeks ago and I wanted to record a video. I did a podcast a couple of weeks back and I wanted to record a video as well just to talk about what this project is, why I set up the website, what's the objective? I'm getting all these questions at the moment through different channels, Facebook, emails. So basically, let me just start by telling you my story briefly in 1 minute, or less, hopefully. I made Aliyah 6 years ago from the wonderful town of Cork in Ireland. There aren't many Irish Olim in Israel, that is very true. And especially here in Jerusalem. So I made Aliyah to Jerusalem. That was where Ulpan was. I work in my day-to-day existence as a freelance writer. So I'm working mostly with technology clients, both here in Israel and those overseas as well. I started writing about Israel. So I'm always writing in general as a writer, both the day job and writing for pleasure. So on different websites, I've got a Times of Israel blog. I write on Medium all the time. I started writing stuff about Israel, firstly more along the political lines, journalistic even, and then I got down into writing more like how-to content. And I did that because I know that there are people like my mom is a good example who are interested in Israel and might theoretically be interested in moving here, but they would have a very hard time finding information in English explaining things as basic as how do you buy groceries online in Shufersal. So I started writing I started doing these screencasts, putting them up on YouTube. I started writing articles, putting them up on Medium, and I was just doing this for a while, created a Medium publication called Living in Israel. And I'd been meaning for a long time to coalesce all this developing information I was authoring to something better than a Medium blog. So, I'm quite technically savvy. I have a few websites, and I had a gap a couple of weeks ago in my writing for a few days, and I thought, this is it. I'm going to just do it. So one of the first domains that came available was afteraliyah.com, and that's actually, I think, a really good domain because it explains the objective of the website and the branding. So let me just talk about what that is. So afteraliyah.com, firstly, let's just talk about the elephant in the room. Why are you doing that? And people have been asking me, what's this? What's the motivation? Whatnot? Like those blog posts I was writing was the idea of maybe helping other Olim navigate life in Israel. I definitely didn't start this website as a commercial initiative, so that's the first thing to say. Currently, it's a not-for-profit. That does not mean there may not be monetization, and the monetization would be to support the website through hosting. Just to have a little bit of a budget to work with. It needs decent logo, would be very helpful. So I don't close the door on that, but still, it's not a commercial project. I have a day job, and it's a separate affair, really. So that's what it is. I'd call it a passion project, essentially, a blog. Now, why After Aliyah, and why does there need to be another English website? You may be wondering. What I envision this being is an information hub about life in Israel, written largely by Olim, so people in Israel, for those who don't know the vocab. In other words, those guides I talked about, like how to shop here, how to buy your groceries here, how to use a RavCav, reader online. So yes, there is Kol Zechut, have some good stuff. Nefesh B'Nefesh are amazing for pre-Aliyah and for presenting to people that haven't come here yet what it's like to live in Israel. Anglo List have some good content, but I still thought that there was a gap for something that was just about information and also perspective. So what I want to say about the editorial direction of the site, if you will, is that there's no bias, either pro or con. So this isn't a website to say we're here in Israel and everything's so amazing and we love it. And, I mean, there are great things about living in Israel, but let's be real. There are also challenges. The cost of living is obscene. The cost of property is obscene, and it makes it very, very hard for young people like me, I'm 32, to plan for the future here. So I want this website to discuss openly all issues pertaining to life in Israel for English speakers. Let me just throw out some topics about stuff I want to talk about. I want to talk about careers. I want to talk about employment, really, really important, negotiating contracts, alternative employment options that Olim are not considering, such as careers in sales, potentially high-paying fields, tech boot camps. What are the options out there? Places to live outside of Tel Aviv and Jerusalem, in the north of the country, in the south of the country. Places to save on rent, like how much does it cost to live in certain communities that are not, the main ones. All this information, perspectives, info, topics, guides, whatever you want to call it, for people that are already here, and again, with no agenda either way, whether that's to make Israel look too challenging or it's just because I think these are the conversations that are being had between Olim, particularly in closed communities like Facebook groups, but they're not really percolating outwards to the internet. And I think it would be useful if they did, just so that there was more, there was a central source of information. So that's kind of what I'm trying to create here. Obviously, as one person doing this a few hours a week, I'm limited in terms of what I can do. So if other people like the mission, the vision I have attempted to describe, and want to get involved in sharing practical information about how to live in Israel, success stories, failure stories, your personal experience, just anything that could be helpful and valuable, that would be awesome. So do get in touch. There's a contact form on the site. Facebook, my email is daniel@afteraliyah.com for this particular project. And yeah, share those perspectives. It would be terrific. Also share this website. It's brand new, so share it. Really, really helps sharing it on Facebook groups. But one last thing before I cut this off. Right now it's in English. I would love to bring out content in French, Russian, Amharic for Ethiopians. The main Olian languages. That would be my goal, and to have all the content continuously being updated, refreshed, so that it's current, because stuff falls out of currency very quickly here. That's about it. I hope that's given people a sort of bigadol picture about what this website's about, who I am, why I started it. As I said, do not hesitate to be in touch through one of those channels. And please like the website. It's on Twitter. It's on Facebook, it's on LinkedIn, and it's also on Instagram. And sharing that will just get traction, because it's really a community-driven project. So thanks for watching, guys. I'm going to cut myself off before I go on for too long. And be in touch, as I said, with any thoughts. Bye.